I had hoped that by putting this on the social media over the last 2 years, really, that the truth would be told about mind control murders, also about my kidnapping, abduction, and being brought to this country and given another name, my identity stolen. I was brought to, again, I'm going to say this, I was brought to Moulton, Alabama in 41 at the age of 2, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, and I have to believe that I didn't find out until 83 about my kidnapping, although all my life, I knew something was wrong with the way I grew up and the hell I grew up in. I wrote a book, again, I'm going to say it, I wrote a book about mind control murders and the use of mind control when you couldn't Google like you can now. The information wasn't there. So I got mine from pain and hard work and having things done to me and my family. And, of course, I'm going to say it again because I used to pull all this out and show it, but it's on, how many YouTubes have I done? And it seems to have served no purpose. Larry Flint of Hustler Magazine was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, March the 6th of 78. He was brought there under weird circumstances, and the person that shot him was programmed to shoot and kill him. It did kill his attorney, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. Whoever is out there may be Larry Flint, and I mean no harm, because at least it's my belief that they tried to help in all this when no one else would. But I was told by an NBC person that when Mr. Flint was here in Roanoke County in the parody case in federal court in what was it, Falwell versus Flint, I guess, Jerry Falwell parody. I was told that it was NBC, I believe, yeah, Channel 10 here, or 7, I can't remember now, that one of their cameramen, or more than one, had filmed Mr. Flint as he sat in a wheelchair and his leg moved. They tried to do something with the film they took it across the state line into West Virginia, and it was confiscated somehow, the film. So I was out at Mr. Flint's in 83 twice during the political campaign to replace the Dr. Congressman Larry McDonald, who I had written about in my book when I wrote about mind control, and CDC was mentioned in it and all that. So I never saw his legs move. His legs were totally looked numb to me, and it's sad because whether he's alive or dead, whether that's Flint or whoever, he lives a horrible life and nobody seems to care about him, because I don't like pornography, but I don't like the cover-ups and the lies, and the doctors who are psychiatrists, MDs, dentists, and all this mess who have to know the truth have not just remained quiet. They have been on the side of calling mind control murders not victims of mind control, but treating them for mental illness, in other words, covering it up. It's a hideous crime. I mean, they're treating James Holmes in Aurora, Colorado, for a non-existent illness. Mind control is a murder weapon. The only reason that I knew about it being done in patterns is because I was led into finding it out, and finding out about my kidnapping and being brought to this country. And that's part of it. It's so ugly what has been done to me. And the takedown of my father and my mother, the lies about, they don't even mention my mother. A 99-year seal put on my father's forced abdication and on my birth. So I'm not going to go into that anymore. I've laid it out in the crimes committed and the hell I've gone through, and I can't find my son's, and it's ignored. So I thought these murders here in Virginia, I came here in '86, October the 20th, I believe it was, of '86. Today's October the 20th. Um, I actually lived in the national forest. I was pitched out when they're talking about Alexis Murphy's mother. Uh, on the media today, said that they threw Hannah Graham's body out on the side of the road like you would a garbage. Well, that's what they did to me. Um, when I did the book, I was still full of antifreeze, and the things that happened, it led up to that, is just as bad. I mean, it was ongoing and done to me and my children, and that's the reason they want all this covered up. But anyway, this is exactly what they did to me. April Fool Day, after I'd done the book, I'd done the book trying to get it published, and all kinds of things was happening to me and my sons. A letter from the FBI, June the 23rd, I'll say it again, to 78, and I gave everybody copies of it. I had antifreeze put in the April Fool Day of '80, because that's what this whole thing has been, to kidnap the monarch, British monarch, and do the things to me that are still being done, and install your own monarch, which is George the Sixth, illegal, who helped in my kidnapping, Kennedy, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers. There's no need to keep going on it. I honestly thought, if I'm skipping around, I thought that the murders of Harrington, Morgan Harrington, her family, by the way, live up the street from where I am. I think they still live there. They have a beautiful home. He's a psychiatrist here in Roanoke. He taught at Virginia Tech, where some of these murders happened, the 33 that happened, the mass shootings, April the 16th of '07. There's been, and here's one that nobody addresses, and I've put this on YouTube, is the death of the shooting of State Trooper Childs, Childs. He's retired now, but his daughter, Heidi, and her friend, Metzer, I believe is his last name, were out in the national forest over near Blacksburg, the college, and they were gunned down with a rifle. No one mentions that. No one, and these are connected. They're the same type crimes done by the same agency. So this thing about getting together so it won't happen to another girl, that is the biggest, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I mean, I have been censored. It's the biggest bunch of bull I ever heard. The only way you stop it is you address the truth, finally, that these are mind control murders, and now they're trying to say that Matthews is a serial. This goes right back to Fairfax, Virginia, and where I've told, I started telling this segment of it. Uh, they're going to cover it up, and psychiatrists and doctors above all know about mind control, and that has nothing to do with mental illness. To treat it as such is not just misdiagnosis, it is diagnosis murder, just like the Dick Van Dyke show title, Diagnosis Murder. And man, do you become unpopular if you try to tell about it. So I guess maybe I sound like I'm jumping around because I can't get a lot on this tape, and quite frankly, I've had and having a lot done to me still at this point, and I'm 75 years old, and it's scary as heck. I'd like to know that my two sons are well and alive. I don't. But I wanted to get back to the fact that putting Matthews away, Jesse Matthews, and saying, get all this out, they're not saying about mind control. I don't know what they really mean when they're talking about the Hannah Graham, the Morgan Harrington, and the Alexis Murphy are totally mind control murders. I don't know what else Jesse Matthews was programmed to do, whether they're going to try to say it's serial. Well, part of the serial murders that have been done